Hello everybody, Xyno here, and in this episode I just wanted to talk about the potential of future content for Sonic Team Racing, because as much as it hurts me to say DLC, having DLC to be put into a game, I hope it happens for this one, because having more and more content is just a better thing, and as long as they don't overcharge us for the DLC, I'm completely fine with it. But I just wanted to talk about a bunch of ideas I've had for Sonic Team Racing, because now that the game's just about to come out, now's the time to start discussing it, because I could start announcing things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about are, obviously more characters, because we only have, I think, 5 teams in the game so far, which is a pretty good amount of characters, 5 or 4 teams. But they could always add more just to cater to the fans. They can cater to the fans by adding more and more characters. And the first one that came to my head as soon as I thought about adding characters to the game was adding a team called Team Classic, where it would be classic Sonic, so we can, everybody can cash in on that nostalgia. But it would be Classic Sonic, Ray, and Mighty, and they would kind of look like how they do in Sonic Mania, and they would all have these cool, unique, cars that cater to them, and they would work as a team because one's speed, one's technique, Fly, and power, Mighty. So that would be a perfect team to announce. And while talking about the characters, I wonder if they would have to release them as a team. So like if you wanted to purchase them, you'd have to purchase all 3 of them, and there wouldn't ever be an option to play as just one of them. As much as I've done research for the game, I don't know if you can mix and match teams. I don't know if, you might need to have to pick a speed, technique, and a power. But, it'd be best for them to release it as a team, because then they would work right from the get-go and stuff like that. I want them to create a team with Cream in it, because Cream hasn't been in the game yet, and that's really weird because Team Rose has Amy, Big, and the Chows. And I think the Chows would be cool to have Cream with, but Cream, I don't know how we would get a team to work without the amount of characters we have, because nothing could create a 3 dynamic team duo. But on my notes here, I randomly put Cream, Espio, and Charmy, because those are the rest of the Chaotix. They weren't included. But that would be technique, and speed, which would be the weirdest setup for a team. And again, I'll have to figure out when the game comes out here in the next day or so, depending on when I upload this, how that's going to go. If you can mix and match, then that's cool, because then they can start releasing uneven teams, so you can kind of mix and match, and you can have actual Team Rose from Sonic Heroes as an option and stuff like that if they add her to the game. One I thought that would have been really cool, and you wouldn't really see coming because you consider this game as a Sonic game, but imagine if they add a team called Team Sega, and they actually take some well-known characters from a previous Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing game, throw the 3 of them together into a team, because that would be a big, you didn't see that coming. Well, now you would if you watch this video. But that would be cool to see, because it's Sonic's all in here. They're all Sonic characters. There's a bunch of them, but oh, look, here comes Sega out of nowhere. If you want to buy these characters, you can go right ahead. That would be really cool to see. And the one I would probably want to add the most besides Team Classic, if they were to add any more characters, would be Team Babylon, because they haven't really been in any games since Sonic Free Riders, and I think they've been in the Olympic Games and stuff. But that would be cool to see, because obviously the Rider series were all based around mechanics of Fly, technique, speed, and power. So things like that would work really, really well. They would be in their Jet, Storm, and Wave, perfect candidates for this kind of game. And seeing them not on hoverboards, because they've rode bikes before in their previous games, and those weird yacht things from Sonic Rider Zero Gravity. But seeing them in their own personalized car would be really cool to see. And if you could ever add cutscene missions to the game, that would be really cool to find a way to include why they would want to start racing with these vehicles in the first place. But that's just a pie in the sky idea. But the next thing I wanted to talk about were the new tracks, if they were to add any more, because we've got a bunch of tracks, and they usually have tracks in 3, all centered around one kind of stage, Casinopolis. They've done Sandopolis, I think that's what it's called, Seaside Hill, the Egg Hangar, the Eggman's Death Egg, and stuff like that. So they could add a whole bunch of other themed tracks. And to throw them off a little bit in having one single theme. They could do something like, if they ever release Team Classic, if that's ever to be a cool thing, because I would love to have that happen. But if they were to do that, they could release like Mania tracks, because Mania only had 4 unique stages, and the last one was Titanic Monarch, and in a way I don't really count that zone. So they could have Studiopolis. Imagine them recreating that in 3D, especially with the lighting engine that they have now, because that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So Studiopolis, Press Garden Zone, and what was the third one? I feel really stupid right now. But there's the third one. Man, I feel dumb. I don't really want to remember it, but you know, someone will post the comments. I'll probably remember later. Blah blah blah. You probably already know what the third one is. All those reimagined in 3D as tracks. That would be amazing. Those would probably be my favorite tracks to ever play on, because seeing them modernized in actual like a 3D video game would be one of the coolest things ever. Then my second idea for more tracks would be what we would call like a Dreamcast track pack, which sounds kind of cool. Track and pack. They should release. See, they need to release these now. That sounds really cool. It's catchy. But the Dreamcast track pack, where they would take 3 stages from the Dreamcast era and load them in. Because I mean, as much as it pains me to say we have reimagined things like City Escape a zillion times, even though it hasn't been a zillion times, but it would be bad to have it reimagined. It would be good to have it reimagined, because with the new lighting engine and having a track on like an actual street in San Francisco zone, that would be cool to see. And you know, you could run over cars, you could knock them over, you can get them in the other way, the other players. The giant truck could be a thing. Another track they could do is like a perfect Chaos track, where, because I don't know if Chaos is in the game. I don't think he is. I don't even know if there's any unlockable characters, but he could be like a cool, like dynamic thing that would happen on the track. You'd be racing on top of the water by going constantly speed, you know, hitting speed paths. You'd have the city-like track, or you'd have to dodge and weave chaos as you go across the track of the destroyed station square. That would be cool to see. And I can't really remember a third track, but since they would probably be released in 3 track packs, that would be cool to find something else like Twinkle Park's racing stage. That would have been cool to add in there too. It'd be all spacey, kind of like the hangar stage, but a lot more kid-friendly is probably a hard word to say, but it'd just be a lot cooler to see that reimagined as a racing track. The last one I wanted to talk about would be the special stage tracks. This sounds really freaking weird, because Sonic's history has really weird special stages, and that's why I would categorize it as like a psychedelic theme, where, because you know, Sonic 1 is just batshit crazy when it comes to what the heck is going on, but they could theme a track around it and redo it all in 3D. It'd be really hard to pay attention. Colors would be flashing everywhere. It'd probably be bad for epileptic people. You know what I mean. But that would be cool. Doing one in Sonic 2 or Sonic Heroes style would be pretty neat with the music. These would be like almost Sonic's version of like Rainbow Road, because Rainbow Road is kind of a balls to the wall, colory, in space, cool kind of track, and they could do that for DLC, since they don't really have anything like that to begin with. Those are just 3 different kind of themes I would like to throw out there, and if they ever took any ideas, that would be freaking awesome, and I'll totally get them. But now that we talked about all those kind of themes mixing together, it'd be cool if they could announce soon if they were going to add any DLC down the line, to see if they would add something like a season pass, so you wouldn't have to buy every single one every single time they came out. You could actually buy it at a discounted price and get all of the DLC, because that would be just simplistic, and it'd be a lot easier for people who actually know they're going to buy it all anyway. So that would be cool if they announced that soon, if they were actually working on it. And maybe some free content updates, like maybe adding more Wisps, even if they would have to make one up, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think there's a lot of Wisp items in the game. So in my head, it kind of, there's a lack of variety of items in the game. You know, there's like Boost, Cube, Missile, Evil, something else. There's only like 5 or 6 items in the game. And I know Mario Kart blows that out of the water with all the different kinds of items they had, so they can figure out ways to maybe add more items down the line to keep things fresh and cool, especially if you're not a very good person, because then you could get the cool items when you're lagging behind and then make a comeback with all these cool new Wisp items. I know that's kind of what the team mechanic's supposed to help you catch up with, but just more items means more diversity on how you play the game. So that would be cool to see if you can see them add that. Another cool thing they could add is, I know that they added customization to the your tracks. That would be cool. But to your cars and stuff like that, if they could just add more and more of that as the game's life cycle goes on and on and on, so you could always have something new to customize for all your characters, that would be neat. And they could even charge like very, very small amounts of money, but I'd rather have it be free because they're like cosmetic. I mean, that's why you would want it to be costing money, because it's a cosmetic thing, but it could be something you could do as like a weekly mission. You complete it, you unlock this vinyl sticker you could throw on Blaze's car, or you can throw it on Silver's car, blah blah blah. So those would be a lot of cool things they could add as DLC, and those are just some of the ideas I came up with really quickly. So they could have a whole plan going on right now, and a lot of these could probably be similar ideas. But I don't know, that's all what I had to say. I wonder what you guys think about my ideas, because I think that at least the Team Classic, the Mania tracks would be the ones I would go for if they could only add like one new team to the game. So I want to know what you guys think, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you ever get a chance to, check out my Twitch, because I'm trying to stream more. I might be moving soon, and I might have better internet to actually stream at good quality. I usually stream late at night on my Pacific Standard Time, usually at like 3 in the morning. I'm trying to make that a constant thing, but you can always check the archives. You can always check me out later. You can do all that stuff. So Xyno's out of here. I hope you have a good day.